seeking someone to guide you in order to be able to move from the disorganized attachment style into feeling a sense of safety in order to be in the relationship and both of you can meet each other on the bridge. If you are disorganized, would she be kind of avoidant style, your partner? No, no, I know, but would be any, yes, avoidant. So when they become emotionally flooded, they cannot deal with because the amygdala takes over. And you want to connect on the left brain, which is the decision, the thinking to listen to, it shut down. So that person needs to pull up and then for you to say, I know it's overwhelming. So validating does not mean you agree. You are validating the feeling. I know it's overwhelming. Do you think in an hour or two we can resume and have the conversation? So you initiate and help in order for the person to be attuned because they need to work whatever emotional channels they are going through to pull up the nervous system in order to create the integration between the right brain, which is the emotion, and the left brain, which is the decision to create integration. Give you an example. Someone who is angry and you try to say a word good luck because they are not listening, not because out of disrespect. It's that the brain takes over and shuts down so they cannot listen. So if I tell someone who is angry, cool off or take a deep breath, it's like I'm giving them a knife. So I say, must be, so you validate, you acknowledge. Must be a very difficult moment. How about, just, take a moment together and let's breathe in together in order to help that person come back to be able to have a conversation with. You don't want to have a conversation with an emotional brain because they might say things that will be very harmful. So you need to create integration. That means the left brain and the right brain are connected in order for the person to listen to you and for you to feel safe to express what you want without creating reactivity. Make sense? I hope it's helpful. I think Jacob has something that I want him to speak. What is Jacob? Oh, right here. So I had a moment of conversation, and when he was, they have a concept that really very interesting. So I would like for Jacob to speak about it.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm a therapist for adolescent men. We work with trauma and addiction. We use something called neuroaffective relational model where we work very similar to what Father Gabriel was saying. We often don't know what we want. And the ways we try to get what we want are completely wrong. Completely wrong. They're informed by our past experiences. And, I personally see it in these kids a lot. They'll, for example, want connection, but they're over-intellectualizing everything or over-spiritualizing everything, right? They're refusing to feel an emotion that they don't want to feel. Or maybe they're having trouble attuning to themselves. They don't know their needs at all, right? So they are looking to everyone just to see what they need. They don't know what they need, right? So trauma, and especially early childhood, affects us in so many different ways that we don't even know. We don't know what we don't know, right? But rest be assured, there's this sort of metaphor, I guess, for trauma, especially childhood trauma. Think of a ball and an urn. Let's say we have this glass, right? This glass, for example, the waters are trauma at that certain moment. There will never be less water in the glass. There will be never less trauma in our life. That trauma will never be less impactful to us. But we can grow the glass, right? And perhaps, we can't even hold the glass right now, but one day we'll be able to hold it in the palm of our hand and look back at our life and really be able to hold that experience, that trauma, that early childhood. So rest assured, if you're overwhelmed by maybe today's talk, think there's a lot of work to do. Be rest assured that there is hope, and the more you work on it, the better life will be. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. Give me a big hand, big hand. And talking about addiction, I never said why the addiction. I always say why the pain. Because addiction is numbing the pain and it's soothing. I never said to anyone in my career for the last 30 years doing what I'm doing, you need to stop. And I always say this, I don't believe that drugs or alcohol are your problem. I don't believe that drugs or alcohol are your problem. But I do believe that you want the drugs or alcohol to solve the problem. Let's talk about the problem. And as Jacob said, becoming aware and do something about that really beginning of it. If you want to have a healthy relationship, it begins with I need to have a healthy relationship with myself. And sometimes people don't think that we have to have a relationship with themselves. And when I have a relationship with myself, I'm going to have a good relationship with the other because then we meet where the other is and we create a bridge of connection. Any question?
Yes, Dr. Father Gabriel.
Yes.
I would just like some words of wisdom, from you with your life journey of the study of the soul and body. So the two hemispheres of the brain, right or left, left or right, and then the rest of the unit of the body from the hairs, the feet, digestive system, the heart. What kind of insights could you say from those topics, please?
The guts, we consider the guts is the second brain. And if we look at the mind for body, that means the mind has an impact on the body. It's a unity and is not anything more than. So what we perceive, the thought, belief, and perception will have an impact on the body. And by, as I said, nourishing the brain, you are nourishing the body. The absence of nourishing the brain, we are feeding the body by other things because the brain constantly seeking energy. So we go into sugar and we go into the drinks that high energy because constantly the brain is in need of at a certain moment. It's like a drug. I give you personal experience. About 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver. And as a researcher, I was wondering what caused it. Came to find out that it was sugar induced. So when I had a lifestyle change, by paying attention, that put me for almost a year on metformin and atorvastatin and this and this and this. And I decided, I said, I can be dependent on medication and it's going to continue increasing, or I need to have a lifestyle change. So I sought really professional help, a nutritionist, and I started, doing the intermittent fasting and paying attention to what I eat. Was it easy as Chitra said? No. Any lifestyle, anything that you have been, and here's the key point. Every habit that we have created takes 3 times 21 days, whether a habit that is constructive or a habit that is destructive. 21 days, 3 times. The first 21 days, the brain says, something new is happening. The second 21 days, say, oh, I like it. The third 21 days, the brain says, it's normal. So pay attention to the brain. Any habits will take 63 days consecutive, 63 days in order to break a habit. It is difficult because sometimes some of our habits are coping mechanisms, and we are as good as our coping mechanism. So I had to do my work, and life is constantly asking me what kind of work I need to do in order to do the big work, in order to become standing in front of you, not as a hero or anything. Shit happened. Excuse my friend, shit happened. Let's speak the language. But You can move from the shift and create the shift. And once you have a shift, you look back and you say, this is who I was, this is who I am, and by the grace of God, becoming, because my journey is constantly becoming. I cannot be living in the past, and I cannot be living in the future. The only time that I have a change is now here. Now, if you take those same 7 letters, now here, that means you are present. If you divide it, it becomes nowhere. And many of us are living nowhere. The same letter. Now here, you change the position of it, becomes nowhere. If we are nowhere, we are lost. I need to find myself. I need to be able to really bring testimony through the test of life that life has given me or everybody else. Did I like it? No. Is it easy? No. But once you are transformed, you say, this is who I was, this is who I am on the way of becoming. Because my journey is never ending until my last breath, because we bear testimony. And that's what the believer. Jesus till the end. What happened on the cross? What happened on the cross till the end? How many times he fell? 3 times. Who came to help him? Simon the Cyrene. Every one of us here can be a Simon the Cyrene for someone who's carrying a heavy cross. He didn't take the cross from him, but helped him in the process. And when we create, when I teach psychiatry resident, I teach internal medicine, a part of the University of Miami, and we developed something very important called psychological safety in the residency program. Psychological safety, that means we are safe to speak with the faculty without being used against us. And if we create psychological safety and showing vulnerability to one another, you are going to make not only a revolution, but you are going to make a difference, because you are power. And I mean every word of it, you are power. But don't define yourself by what happened to you. Be defined by who you are becoming. Shift happen in life, but shift happen because you made the decision. It takes 3 C's. You need to make a choice, take a chance for something to change. And it's a choice. When I work with someone, I don't tell them what they have to do. I guide them and I ask all the 3 questions when I see someone for the first time. What do you want to change? How do you want to change it? And what can I do to help to guide you in order to achieve what you want? Because when we become Simon the Cyrene for one another, what we are doing is that we are bringing hope. There is hope. And I tell you, my greatest doubt in life is not losing faith, it's losing hope. As a matter of fact, we developed something, my main work is oncology. And we developed something, especially working with cancer patients, and called meaning center psychotherapy for hopelessness, helplessness, and despair. There is no medication for it. This is not depression. It's a loss of meaning and purpose. When I lose meaning and purpose, then I become desperate, I become helpless, and I become hopeless. But meaning, life has meaning even with the most difficult challenges in life. Life has meaning in the end. And that's what Jesus teaches us. I thank you. I think we passed our time, but we still have time. Yes.
Thank you so much for being here, Pastor Father. This was very insightful. You mentioned boundaries earlier. I've seen a lot of articles recently about people going no contact with a close family member, completely shutting them off. Can you maybe share some insights into the pros and cons or risks and benefits of that approach?
That's not boundaries. Boundaries is placing what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. So, give you a very simple example. My philosophy. I love the person. I love everyone. But the behavior, I say, I love you. And I will continue loving you. But that behavior affecting me. Unless something happens, I cannot be in your proximity, but I will still love you from a distance. When I have boundaries with myself, I can set boundaries in order not to be manipulated nor be taken advantage. Because sometimes people will take advantage and what we allow and what we permit becomes a law. So boundaries is, do I say yes to myself or I'm saying yes to please you, but inside of me I say no. And the work of Henry Cloud on boundaries is an amazing. He's a Christian psychologist. Amazing work of boundaries. We have difficulty with boundaries. I set my boundaries very nice, and people might use it. Oh, but you are a priest. You never have time. I never said I don't have time. I never said I don't have time. But I have someone who is waiting that may only have time or this time. So once you know where you are standing, people will push you, but you have to stand firm. Forgiveness is a big issue. And I tell you, you never heard that from a priest. Forgiveness is not something easy. Forgiveness is not something cognitive. Forgiveness we have to release the body first before we go into the cognition. And my motto is this: apologies accepted, access denied. And it's a very Christian. But unless I do the releasing the body and we look at it from a somatic point of view, until we complete the incomplete that happened, forgiveness will never exist. And we need to release it from the body. That's why when people say, I forgive but I don't forget, I say, forget, don't worry about forgiving. Because we keep remembering what we need to forget, and we forget what we need to remember. So we keep rehashing the memory constantly and consistently, and it affects us, and it brings us exactly as it is happening or has happened. So forgiveness is a big issue, and it's not that easy. But forgiveness is not about releasing the other person from his or her responsibility. What you are after is your peace of mind. He who knows how to master peace becomes a masterpiece. Thank you.
We have
Appreciate
time
you.
for one more question.
Yes.
One more question. We have time for one more question.
I thought
One
I
more
would have
question.
on peace. Yes. I thought I would have on peace. But let's see what's the question.
Ooh, conflict.
Hi. My question for you, since you do somatic practices, what are your favorite types of practices to do if someone's in an escalated state?
Say it again.
What are your favorite somatic practices to do if someone's in an escalated state?
Yeah, I do grounding technique. I do the Jesus prayer. The Jesus prayer, it's a breathing technique that I use. The Jesus prayer is a Russian uh, meditation. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me. So I need to reset my nervous system, because when the nervous system goes into hyperactivity, I need to reset it. So I take it. So I do the mantra, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me. I release it. Keep doing it for a minute or two. I feel the ground. I look at the body. I said, what part in me that triggered that I need to pay attention? So I do soothing, and I touch the part that say my guts get challenged, because the guts is really the esteem, the world. So I do some techniques in order to come back grounded, in order I connect with the next person that I will encounter. So at night, one of the techniques that I do, I use the glad technique, glad, that find one thing that during the day that I was grateful for. The accent for find one thing that I learned today. The stand for find one thing that I accomplished today. And the B, find one thing of the life that I encountered today. And why is that? Because if you, at the end of the day, you focus on what you didn't do, it's going to increase your anxiety and will cause you insomnia, and you are not going to resolve it. And then you will be sleepless, and you will be staring on the ceiling, and nothing will change. But I acknowledge and said, you know what? I practice self-forgiveness, self-compassion, self-acceptance. And I said, you know what? I missed it today, tomorrow morning I will repair it. Here is the question. All relationships that you have in life are based on three things. Harmony, disharmony, repair. When we go into disharmony, I need to come back to Jacob and say, now what, I got it, and we need to repair it. Because most of the time we stay on the disharmony, but we don't do the repair. And we need to repair constantly. The relationship is constantly there because we are human beings. And to err is human. And to really let go is divine. So on a daily basis, I need to become aware what's happening in my body, the somatic approach. And I acknowledge it. The last thing I can tell you, find someone that you trust, that you can discuss your situation in a safe place. So there are two types of people that I have. One is that, what's his name? Arina. One, I will text Arina and say, I need 5 minutes of your time. I need to run something by you. And I don't want you to give me any solution. Just I want to share something with you. Why is that? Because someone is witnessing. So I call and I say everything, and she's a listening ear. After I hang, thank you very much. No need. Because she's not going to think less of me. You have to find someone that you feel safe. The second type of person that I have is that I will say, Natalie, I need 15 minutes of your time. I'm struggling with a situation, and my focus is narrowed right now, and I need to explore with you. So now I'm seeking someone that I trust, that is going to guide me, and not someone who will tell me, I told you so. That's the person you don't need to, because we make you feel the shame. You need to find someone that you feel safe, that you say, intimacy for me, into me you see. So someone that you can speak with and you feel safe because then you process it. Someone will guide you. Unless we have that, we are isolation because we are constantly fearful what they will think of me. I read a book years ago, about 20 years ago, by Gary called What You Think of Me is None of My Business, but what I think of myself is my business. And that's what I am with. Thank you. I love you all. And I wish you the best. I hope I did not cause you any disturbance. If I did cause you any disturbance, maybe you will forgive me, and if you don't forgive me, I will forgive you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Gabriel. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you guys for making it tonight. Really appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you.
So, so for other announcements in the diocese, there is a women's retreat this Saturday, May 30th. May 30th from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. If you would like to register, you can scan the QR codes on the tables. It will take you to your newsletter where you can scan the QR code there, and it'll help you register for that retreat. And next week, we have Gathering Glorified Nights. It's a young adult mass, adoration, and fellowship. It happens at Emmanuel Catholic Church, first Friday of the month from 7 to 9 p.m. So we hope to see you guys at that event also. We do ask that you take your conversations off the property at 9:50, 10 minutes till 10, because the restaurant closes at 10. We're not saying you could leave. We're just saying to take it off the property. We really appreciate that. And we want to give a shout out to our servers. Let's give them a round of applause so they can hear us. And we will close in prayer with the glory. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Thank you, guys.